Therapist Morton Cooper says, change your voice and change your life.
Nicely said, Lois. He'll also show us how and be taking your phone call questions next up on Take Two.
Now back to Take Two on CNN.
As many as 25% of us, including some of these well-known celebrities, are slowly committing voice suicide. That's right, voice suicide by using voices incorrectly. At least so says our next guest, the author of the book, Change Your Voice, Change Your Life.
Author Morton Cooper has worked with many Hollywood stars, including Henry Fonda, Joan Rivers, and Diane Carroll. And he joins us today on Take Two from Los Angeles. Welcome. I've always wanted a voice coach, and now I have one. And I'm sure I'm one of those who uses her voice in the wrong way. Tell us how to change. What are the main problems, first of all?
Well, if I talk like this, it doesn't sound very good. So what you have to do is lower the pitch if you have a nasal sound. And if you do that, you have a full, rich, open voice. It's very friendly. Now, if you are Henry Kissinger, I feel that the situation is like that. You like Henry?
Yeah.
Irma Brombeck said that if she missed the first word, she missed the whole thing. Henry always talks like the batteries are worn down, and he's very outgoing, very witty, very friendly, but you can't tell it from his voice. He has the voice of doom and gloom.
Well, how would
I'm waiting for you, Henry.
Yeah, how would you coach Henry Kissinger? What would you tell him to do?
Well, I would ask Henry, if he talks all the way down here, this is a voice that I would ask him to say, spontaneously and sincerely. So he says, and then he talks right up here, one, two. What Henry would do is, one, two. So if you talk up here, one, you get the voice right up there, and then it's voice talk. We're going to go to voice talk. For instance, instead of saying, my name is Mort Cooper, I say, So my name is Mort Cooper. It's right over here instead of down here. So if you're too low, you go up here with voice talk or the humming of America. For instance, Lois and Dave, can you hum Happy Birthday for me? Okay. Right. Do you feel it around your lips and nose?
Get that vibration, right?
Right.
I feel it in my nose. That's my problem. How do I get it down there?
All right. I want you to say no like somebody has romantically approached you and you mean no. Lower your voice one note.
No.
There's your voice. The nasality goes away. Say, no, my name is Lois.
No, my name is Lois.
Then, Dave, does the voice change?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, she
Immediately.
more through the nose area, huh? And she means it, too.
You have a balanced oral and nasal resonance. What you're doing now is using a full natural voice. Now, I want you to say hello in that lower voice, Lois. Hello?
Hello.
Good. Now say it in the old voice.
Hello.
Oh, no, that's not the old voice. Now, what I'm saying is that you can get your voice in seconds. You have to place it around the lips and nose. If you're deep throat, I feel this is down here, you go, and you'll hum Happy Birthday. For instance, let me do it for you. Happy birthday to you. So the voice is right here in the upper two-thirds solution. I call that the mask area. That's what it is. And most people either talk up here, they do Howard, like Sandy Duncan. Do you like wheat thins? Or Howard Cosell, they're on the third. But we don't want to take those voices away because they're money voices, and they make them heard, liked, and listened to. And Henry, I would never take Henry's voice away because that's the voice, it's a money voice. I feel the situation. But for most of us, we have to blend the oral and nasal resonance. For instance, when I first began, I was at Brooklyn College. I used to talk like this. My name is Morty Cooper. I played my voice back on a tape machine, and I told the secretary that the tape machine is broken. And she took the tape machine from me and said, the tape machine is not broken, Cooper. It's a brand new tape machine. She tested her voice, testing 1, 2, 3, heard her voice played back, looked me straight in the eye and said, well, you're right, Cooper. The tape machine is broken. That's not my voice.
Well, you certainly changed it. Can you give us an example how you changed one of these well-known celebrities, their voice, and changed their life?
Well, take Joan Rivers. Joan Rivers was a deep throat. She was talking like Henry Kissinger down here. And what you do is you place the voice up in the two-thirds solution around the mask area, and you get the same trademark voice, but you don't get the pathology. If you're talking deep throat, you can lose your voice. For instance, if you take a look at this, this is a golf ball. And this is a golf ball given to me by a doctor from the Mideast who had this strangled voice. His voice would come, his voice would go. And he would lose his voice because it sounded like somebody was throttling his lower throat. After a year of working with him, he came from the Mideast, stayed here for a year. I got his voice back for him, and he gave me this golf ball and an RX. The RX says by the physician, chew on a golf ball. The doctor from the Mideast believed the ear, nose, and throat doctor in this country, chewed on the golf ball, and had some dental problems. Now, after a year, he gave me the golf ball, the RX, and wanted to know from me why he had to chew on a golf ball. What I did for this individual, I did for the late Henry Fonda. He was complaining about the strangled voice down here, and the voice wouldn't come out. So I placed the voice up here with midsection breath control. We'll get to that in a minute. And Henry Fonda went on to do on Golden Pond. He had his voice back and he could talk again. The condition is considered hopeless. The medics consider it neurological. The psychiatrists say the individuals don't want to talk. And I say the problem is talking with the brakes on in the lower throat and in reverse. And when you put the voice up in the mask with midsection breath control, basically the individual has a chance to talk again with a normal voice.
Is that because so many men try to achieve this low, resonant voice?
Like yours,
sound like a
Dave.
man.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Sure. Because we have blah, wimpy voices. Mr. Rogers is your... When you talk to the boys and girls, you know, like that, with that voice, I did that once with my kids, and they wouldn't talk to me for a week because I offended Mr. Rogers' image in my family. So I didn't do that. I could do Henry Kissinger. They don't mind. And I can do James Bond. This is Agent 007. This is James Bond. They don't mind those voices. And Dr. Ruth plays, you know, you know that. We have great voices in this country, money voices, but most of us have blah, wimpy voices, thin nasal voices. And what we want to do, Dave, is get a voice down here. We want a macho voice. So what we do is we go from up here and we go down here. And that's what I did.
Yeah.
No, you don't get it in the middle. That's what I did. I went from the nasal voice up here like that, and I went down here. I lost my voice. I went to see 12 MDs. They thought I was dying of all kinds of conditions. And finally, I got some help. I got into the field of speech. I became a voice and speech doctor. And that's how I learned to focus this voice up here so that it's a quick self-help kind of program. Everybody wants self-help.
Okay, Doctor,
they want a
we've
better
got
voice.
some viewers who want help. Go ahead, Fairmont. Go ahead, Fairmont. Are you there, Fairmont?
I think Fairmont lost her voice, or his voice. Let's take another call. St. Croix, Virgin Islands. Go ahead, you're on take two. St. Croix?
They're all losing their voices at a most inappropriate time. Jackson, are you there? I think we're having some problems.
I think we got the
In the
old
meantime,
technical
Dr.
bugaboo.
Cooper, let me ask you, what can happen physically if you misuse your voice?
Various things can happen. You get nodes and polyps and contact ulcer. These are vocal fold growths on the vocal fold area. And basically, most people get what I call tired voice. Instead of talking the way I'm talking, they talk like this. The voice goes out after a few minutes or an hour or two, and they have a tired voice. This is a general symptom and syndrome of this country. I call it voice suicide in America. Many Americans have the condition. They go to physicians, they complain about sinusitis, postnasal drip, and allergy. Their basic problem is that they're talking deep throat. Dr. Gershon Lesser here in Los Angeles has indicated that 3/4 of the patients that he sees complain about sinusitis, nasal drip, and allergy, and they have voice problems and don't know it. Now, you can also go to premalignancies, and I also believe you can go to vocal fold cancer. Spastic dysphonia is what the late Henry Fonda complained about, and that voice is like that, and then it comes, and then it goes. It sounds like somebody is throttling you. Now, those are just some of the problems that you can get, the pathology. Then you have, after voice suicide in America, Lois, you have what is called sound pollution. Hello, is your mother home? Do you feel good? How are you doing? And then a lot of women in this country complain that when they answer the phone, the caller says, is your mother there? And the person answering the phone is the mother. Or the father says they asked for the father when I am the father. And that's because 50% of this country has too high and nasal a voice. About 10 to 25% are committing voice suicide, deep throat, losing their voice, getting pathology, having tired voice, and they don't know where to go and what to do. That's why I wrote a self-help book.
Well, I want to ask you if you can really get this kind of help from a book. I mean, is it possible to really study a book and get your voice changed? Wouldn't you have to work with somebody or a tape recorder or something?
Yes, I use a tape machine. That has been the question that's been asked all over the country. And the answer comes in from the mail. And Jacqueline Fernandez is a bank president here in Los Angeles. She read the book, Change Your Voice, Change Your Life. Read the book. She had 20 years of voice trouble, had been to speech therapists, voice coaches, doctors. Nobody could help her. A lump in the throat, laryngitis, hoarseness. She read the book, Change Your Voice, Change Your Life, changed her voice, could not believe it's that simple, came in to see me, and she agrees it is that simple. She went on radio and television to tell her story. We get letters all the time, Lois, from people all over the country telling us they don't believe it can be done, and they're doing it.